I don't understand. I've closed more cases than any agent here.
You are a solid agent, but you're not a team player. None of the other agents like you.
Wait for my 3 count. 1, 2. Unbelievable.
We got a situation in Boston. I'm sending you up.
FBI, we recently got intel that you brought in a dealer, Terrell Rojas.
Hey, look who's here!
Detective Mullins isn't back from lunch yet.
Sure you won't mind?
Well, he's a she.
Oh, it's on! She's crazy!
Hey guys, Lucas here again for another movie review. Today is for the female buddy cop film The Heat, starring Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock, and directed by Paul Feig, who directed Bridesmaids. The Heat has a typical buddy cop premise. Sandra Bullock, who plays an uptight FBI agent, has to team up with Melissa McCarthy, who is a foul-mouthed Boston police officer, and they have to work out their differences and work together to bring down this drug lord and crime boss in Boston. I'm one of the few people that avidly dislikes Bridesmaids. I really don't like the movie at all, and I know it's pretty much universally loved. I like the idea of having this whole female cast and making a very raunchy comedy. But to me, just because it's women doesn't make it funnier, and it makes it a tiny bit more refreshing, but that novelty can kind of wear off after a while. And I like buddy cop movies. I've never thought they were great, but I thought, you know, a female buddy cop movie, that is kind of interesting, and I hope that this movie would deliver. And The Heat is a predictable buddy cop movie. It's, for the most part, hit or miss. But to me it seems like more of a wasted opportunity. First of all, I do think that Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy in this movie have very good chemistry. It does take them a while to kind of hit their stride, but I think by the 20-minute mark, I think they start to get into a rhythm where they seem like a believable duo, and they do bounce off each other pretty well. You also got Biff from Back to the Future playing like the head of the Boston Police Department, and he's only in it for like 1 or 2 scenes. But I really wished he was in it more because he was probably the funniest person in the whole movie. We also got appearances from Caitlin Olsen from my favorite show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The great comedian Bill Burr is also in it. And Schmo's friend Adam Ray also has a small part in this movie. And that's the frustrating thing in this movie, is you get all these really funny people in it, and they don't really have much to do. I mean, Caitlin Olsen is hysterical on It's Always Sunny, and she's really just given not a lot to do here with a really unfunny character. I appreciate the fact that this film did try to throw in a few twists, and they did try to give some depth to Melissa McCarthy's character, which I did appreciate, that she just wasn't a foul-mouthed cop for no reason. There's actually a reason why she's kind of this hardened. So I appreciated that, and I also appreciated that the movie did try to take some twist, even though a lot of them were either really predictable or really unbelievable. That's not saying that this movie is unfunny. It definitely has its moments, but I never really laughed out loud, and this movie just seems very convenient, and the movie just has some very random scenes. There's a scene in a Denny's in this movie that not only comes out of nowhere, but does nothing to advance the plot at all, and it's just kind of disturbing. It's really bloody and just comes out of nowhere. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. What the hell was that? The film does have, especially in the middle, I feel like it does have a pretty good period where it is hitting, and it is fun to watch these two actresses play off each other, but the film just never could keep a consistent tone with me. And I don't like it in comedies like this where they think just being vulgar is funny. I'm a vulgar person. I think vulgarity can be very funny. A lot of the movies I like are very vulgar heavy, especially some of my favorite comedies. But this movie, especially when you're introduced to Melissa McCarthy's character, they think just having her saying the word fuck every 5 seconds is hysterical, and it's really overbearing, it's obnoxious, and while she does say it throughout the movie, it becomes funnier, but it's just a bomb rush in the beginning, and it's kind of painful to watch. This movie commits the cardinal sin of being way too long for a comedy. Most comedy should be an hour and a half to an hour and 35 minutes. This movie is almost 2 hours, and first of all, you don't need that for a predictable buddy cop movie like this where you know where it's going from the beginning, and the story here is just so jumbled and messy that it doesn't need to be dragged out as long as it is, because for the most part the director and the writer are not really all that concerned with it. I know it kind of seems like I'm bashing on this movie. I don't hate it. It has some good moments in here. I definitely chuckled a good amount through this movie. It just seems like I wish they could have done something a lot better with this kind of unique concept of a female buddy cop movie, which sounds like a really great idea, but especially with all the great people that got involved, like I said, Caitlin Olsen, Bill Burr, even Spoken Reasons from YouTube is in the movie. It just seems like they just came for a kind of mediocre script, and the movie just unfortunately wasn't that funny to me, so I'm going to give The Heat 2.5 out of 5 stars. If you've seen The Heat, let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you, if you liked Bridesmaids, did you like this? Did you feel like they were on par? Did you think that Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock had good chemistry? And would you be up for a sequel? Would you, I know the movie kind of sets up for that. I personally don't think that's a good idea unless they improve on the writing. So if you like this review, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.
That was pretty awesome.
You are killing us out there. You don't fit in.
I am a federal agent.
What are those?
They're Spanx. They're Spanx. They just hold everything together. Why? What's gonna come popping out?
That guy, young, bad girls.